lost a lot of supply depots in that attack. And the carriers are back! No, never mind, they're not going to attack. I lied. And Stalin is now on the offensive with some Mutalisks doing some harassing. Just a little bit when he can. And this Marine and Marauder force is going to smash its way up this base. Really quickly destroying all those cannons. And he didn't bring enough Marines to do any huge amount of damage to those carriers, but he still got plenty of Marauders. And he's going to chase down these Stalkers. And destroy as much as he can with this force of Marauders. But they're going to get overwhelmed. And these poor guys are dead. Mutalisks coming in a little bit late. Looks like they're going to take out one carrier. But that's it. So I've rebuilt the Hydralisk force once again. Again, I got more hatcheries going down. And now I decided, okay, it's time to overwhelm this base. It's time for this thing to go down. I'm not gonna let you get any high yield resources. Oh, I was just looking to see who's expanding where. I mean, this time I brought in a sizable force. And these Hydralisks just tear this down. Right now, Henry's got a couple Colossi out there. Pretty much like, I felt like the enemy team just went mass Colossus and that was it. And I'm gonna try and chase these Colossi up the hill. Probably not the best idea. And unfortunately, my poor Hydralisk force is not going to survive too long against those Colossus. And now this huge carrier force is driving through our base at this point. And unfortunately, it was like pretty much just after I lost my Hydralisk corps. And they're going to start trying to tear down my base. Vespert's got some Marines in there. And they're not going to do a whole ton of damage. But Stalin has got the Mutalisks here. And it looks like that these carriers aren't going to be enough to contend with these giant Mutalisks. And then Pop Screen just rage quits. Apparently he decided that his carriers weren't good enough or something like that, and then just rage quit. And now Blue is trying to attack my base, but this time I've got Zerglings who end up being a perfect distractor for these Colossi. And once those guys are shooting my Zerglings, those Hydralisks are able to tear them down pretty quickly. So, Card's got a huge force here. I am currently hatching in more of my own troops. Again, those carriers took out one of my bases, so I'm rebuilding it, also expanding to over here. Those Mutalisks are still gonna do some harassment, but now Mace Meet the Face has got oh man, I love that. Great name. It's got a mothership which cloaks nearby units, and also has a ton of hit points. And unfortunately, those Mutos are going to run into this huge cloaked air force. And gonna try and attack this mothership, but it's not gonna end so well for them. But now me and Card got a nice force stacked up here, and I'm currently hatching in more and more troops as time goes on. Have I upgraded? Yes, I've also upgraded my Zerglings to have the speed upgrade, which makes them a lot more deadly. And actually can make, you know, one of the most early units a very effective killer in the late game. Card also has a nuclear launch, apparently. And looks like he's, unfortunately, also, they've got a detector in there somewhere. And poor Card's force is just completely, almost completely obliterated by this cloaked air fleet right here. And Stalin is continuing me to harass, but it's time for me to come in. I got my Hydralisk and Zerglings. They're going to try and tear down this base, but again, friggin' Big Daddy just has mass Colossi, and that's it. And a couple Stalkers. I ran out of Zerglings. The Zerglings distracted them for as long as they possibly could. But those Stalkers are just... these Colossi just weren't enough to take out this huge force that I had assembled. And now we're in the base, finally tearing down him. And this felt pretty good to have destroyed his base and his goddamn mass Colossi. Usually I almost always seem to go Mutalisks, but I decided that I was bored of Mutalisks, so I wanted to do Hydralisk this time. And just my luck, the enemy pretty much went just, you know, a ton of Colossi. But we can see that this mothership is now coming in and now destroying our forces, and in the last gallant effort, my Hydralisks tear down the mothership and remove its cloaking abilities. Now at the same time, the attacks are breaking out all over their base. Our main push was destroyed, but we took out one of the enemy's bases with it. Stalin is still harassing with his Mutalisks. And yet another base goes down, but this is the guy who had left the game. And now these Mutalisks once again are going to be chased away from harassing that base. Now I'd started rebuilding the force that had died, but now that our force is dead, here comes the enemies, ready to try and destroy us if they can. And unfortunately, they're gonna see my expansion that I had built, and they're gonna take it out. I guess I should have expanded over here instead of there, but whatever. Bygones be bygones. It's all in the past now. Card had another Marauder force here. And they're going to tear down those Colossi pretty quickly. And now this huge air force is going to go toe-to-toe. Those Mutalisks are going to try and take out as much of this force as they can. Looks like they're going to be able to take out the Void Rays, but not going to be able to take out the carriers. They're going to do as much damage to those carriers as they possibly can. I was hoping that was thinking that they'd win this one. And actually, it looks like those Mutalisks had chased them back for now. This carrier fleet was still harassing us. It was still on the prowl. And By this time, I had rebuilt most of my Hydralisks, and Hydralisks are just a perfect counter to carriers. They will just tear them up, as you will see momentarily. So here they come, and then here comes his carrier fleet, and I just tear it to shreds, and it felt so good to tear this up. As you see, I was pretty happy with this, or maybe happy isn't the right word. Anyway, now at this point, all that is left is... Alright, I thought just Henry's left, but I guess all that's left is Big Daddy. And we're massing and mobilizing our forces for the final strike. And my Hydralisks are just going to come into this base, destroy everything, but what's left of our enemies are just not going to sit here and stand for that. And they're going to concede pretty quickly here, and that's going to be it. And before I go, though, I get to destroy a couple more carriers. And there we go. Last guy has left the game, so I want to thank you guys for watching that. This has been JosefVStalin signing off for now. And before I go, I'm always going to encourage you guys that I have always a place for viewer replays on here. So if you got any cool replays, I would love to see them. And for now, you guys take care.